On today's Confessions of an 80s Childhood, I'm going to tell you about the time I was hit in the head with an axe. Yes, that's right, an axe. So I was in my younger years, maybe 6 or 7 years old, I'm not entirely sure, and I was playing at my friend's house who was our backyard neighbor. We shared a fence between our two homes. You know, our backyards were together, our mothers were best friends. So as I was playing there, we decided to start playing a game where one of us was the queen of the yard or something. And in order to be queen of the yard, you had to stand on the log. Now, everybody had the log. If you don't know what the log is, you might not have grown up in small town Idaho, but the log was the log where you kept your axe. Because why wouldn't you have an axe in your yard when you have small children? These are just the things that were normal. And, we all had wood-burning fireplaces, and it was a great source of heat. It was a normal fall chore to chop a bunch of wood and have a wood pile against the side of the house, and you had to have the log for your axe. So we had the axe. We removed the axe out, and I don't think we were supposed to touch the axe, probably, right? Because that's something you don't do as a child, but we did. We removed the axe, and if you stood on the log, you were the queen. Well, my friend had her turn being the queen, and I wanted my turn, but she was not going to give me my turn, and I was determined to take my turn. So she continued to insist that no, she was the queen, and I said no, I wanted to be the queen. I stood on the log, and just as I did, I felt my daylights be knocked out of me. Now, she had not intentionally hit me with the axe. As I stood on the log, happened to be right as she was swinging that axe back into the log. It was really sheer coincidence. She didn't know I was going to jump up there. But as you know, it takes a great deal of force to swing the axe hard enough to get it to lodge into the log, which is what she had done right as I stood up, and the axe just made contact. So I remember kind of stumbling down off of it and grabbing my head and really blacking out. I really saw stars and I blacked out, and she just had this look of horror on her face, and she still had the axe in her hand, and I remember she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm okay." And then I removed my hand and saw the blood, and I let out a blood-curdling scream and started crying, and it was one of those screams that sends a mother running because you know something's really wrong. And my parents came running out of the house and whisked me away to, not the emergency room, because, we never visited the emergency room. However, it was something maybe equivalent to an urgent care. It was our family practice doctor, but they had one of those places. And so we went there, and of all the ways to treat this traumatized child who'd been hit in the head with an axe, they shaved my head and proceeded to put a staple gun on my skull and, and stapled the wound closed, because being hit in the head with the axe was not traumatizing enough. We then needed to staple my scalp. So we'll never forget that. We'll never forget those days. We came home. My mom decided it would be a good idea to pop back over to the neighbors to let them know I was okay. She says they'll be worried sick. We need to show them you're okay. She knocks on the front door. Her friend answers. She says, "Just wanted to let you know that she's okay." And her friend says, "Why wouldn't she be okay? What happened?" So my friend had never told her mother what happened. She was so scared and concerned that she was going to be in trouble, and she was worried about me. She'd gone in her bedroom and cried herself to sleep and had been asleep that whole time. So when my mother filled her in on the details, she slammed the door on us, and I just hear her scream, "Michelle!" which was her daughter's name. And Michelle was in a load of trouble. And I was stapled shut. Thanks for tuning in on today's Confessions of an 80s Childhood.